All right, Nick, let's talk about the Chicago Bears. Obviously, the big pull from this draft is definitely Caleb Williams. A close second is Rome Odunze. Two big highlight players for this Bears draft. But I think there's one guy in particular the Bears have gotten late in the draft that really looks like he can make an impact on this team early on. Let's get into the article and talk more about this on the other side. This is over from the Bear Report, and it says Austin Booker heard his name called in the 5th round of the 2024 NFL Draft by the Chicago Bears, despite not starting a game for the Kansas Jayhawks during the 2023 season. But the raw traits and potential of Booker were intriguing enough for Ryan Poles to move back up into the draft and try to address a need with the pass rusher. One of the things that for me is for the rusher's energy, defensive coordinator Eric Washington said the energy, he has a tremendous amount of energy. He never seems to be out of the play either early or as the play extends with the quarterback, especially as a rusher. When you talk about slippery, it's just hard for the protection. Either the person assigned him or whatever to get a solid shot on him. He's always rotating and flipping his hips at the right time so he can continue to advance toward the quarterback. And so he has time to initiate and feel and ability. Booker has drawn comparisons to Las Vegas Raiders star pass rusher Max Crosby, a 4th-round pick in the 2019 NFL Draft who's developed into one of the best defensive ends in the league. Now, despite the Bears, defensive edge coach not being able to quite clearly, enunciate what's going on, I think the point of this is this guy has a ton of energy. He never quits, and he's very slippery, hard to get a hold of. I think this is a really great pickup for the Bears. A lot of potential in this pick. I'm curious what your thoughts are, Nick, but Bears fans, in the comment section below, before we hear from Nick, let us know. The schedule is out. There's a lot of great games out there. I'm sure you're excited to see your new quarterback play. What game are you the most excited about seeing this year, or potentially a game that you're going to as well? Let us know in the comment section below. But Nick, what are your thoughts on this late round pickup by the Bears?
So it's very interesting. As Booker's gone through some mini camp practices up to this point, he's come out and said that the Bears coaching staff are really coaching him hard, being very aggressive with him, focusing on him getting all the technique and all the mental things right. According to Booker, every single mistake he makes, every little detail has been scrutinized and coached to the extreme by the Bears coaching staff. Now, that usually means, and I say usually means 999 times out of 1,000, that the coaching staff is really high on a player, right? It's the old adage, if the coach doesn't think you can play, he'll ignore you. If he thinks you got a lot of potential, he'll spend a lot of time on you and coach you incredibly hard. And that's what we're seeing from the Bears coaching staff so far when it comes to Booker. They think he's got a lot of potential. He's got a great future in front of him for the Bears if he can clean up a few things, if he can get the mental side of the game right, if he can get more fundamentals under control. And I agree with what the Bears coaching staff is seeing, because if you look at Booker's performance at Kansas last year, he is just a home run hitter in terms of what you would expect from a defensive end, which is very unusual. He's like a baseball player that goes 1 for 5 for 4 strikeouts, but has a 3-run home run mix in there as well. For example, if you look at his Texas game, it's absolutely bonkers. He had a sack, 3 hurries, and 4 stops. A stop is a grade according to PFF where play resorts in a negative or no gain for the offense. That's absolutely outstanding. That's ridiculous. And his next big game against a big time opponent, Oklahoma, 1 sack, 5 hurries, 3 stops there, right? Again, that's top flight competition, and he's absolutely dominating. Those are great numbers. He's 6'6", 250, so he's got physical tool set. So why all the concern? Why did he fall in the 5th round? Well, because this guy is, you take this strikeout analogy in baseball and compare it to defensive football. This guy misses tackles like nobody else. He had a 100% missed tackle rate, 100% missed tackle rate against Illinois. He finished the season with an 18.5% missed tackle rate. That is incredibly high. That is ridiculously high. That is too high. You'll sometimes see missed tackle rates that high when you have like a corner one-on-one in space, right? But for a defensive lineman to miss that many tackles and have that high of a rate, that is not a good sign. That is a major red flag. But on the flip side, the guy gets hurries like nobody business, right? Last season, he had 27 hurries. He had 34 stops. You throw in the 9 sacks as well. Again, this is according to PFF statistics here. So you're talking about a guy who makes play after play, but also misses a lot of plays. To me, that's a sign that if he can be coached up, if he can improve and just get the granular details under control, he can be a superstar. I'm not talking about just a good player, but a superstar. Because if you look at his raw playmaking ability, it's there, folks. He can do things the way a first round top 10 pick, Montez Sweat kind of player. He's just got to clean up the details. He's got to get the mental side of the game. And so far, what we're seeing is that the Bears coaches believe that same thing. They're sitting there saying, listen, we got to coach this guy hard because if he can get there, he will be a star for us. And I think so far, it's a mixed bag so far as he works his way through rookie mini camps as we're getting into OTAs now. But if he can figure it out, and if the Bears coaching staff can figure it out with him, the Bears have a superstar, not just a good player, but a superstar waiting to break out here in Booker.
Yeah, Nate. And the craziest part for me, and I know this stat can be like a little bit misleading, but the fact that you read the article and it says he didn't start really any games in 2023, wasn't the on the field starter for the first series or whatever. And this guy goes on to be first team All Big 12. He led his team in forced fumbles. He led his team in sacks. He led his team in tackles for loss. And after transferring over from Minnesota, he won the Big 12 Newcomer of the Year that season. That's incredible to me. This is a guy, like you said, you put him on the field, and the coach, he had an interesting way of describing it, but I get what he's saying. This guy seems like a ball of energy. You put him on the field, and it's like the Energizer Bunny. He just like goes, goes, goes. He doesn't know how to stop. Even if he blows past the tackle, like you said, and misses the play, when he connects, it just seems like there's something special in a guy like Booker. All motor, just like no quit 100% of the time. As we said, could be bad, but if you coach it in the right way, he also makes a ton of high impact plays as well. I think this is a great. I used to say you grab this guy in the second, third round, you're like, man, this kind of a reach. Maybe this is a guy that could be very hit or miss. You grab this guy in the fifth round, you're like, man, the upside potential on this guy alone is just incredible. And this just shows time and time again what Ryan Poles and co have been doing on this Bears team. They are getting such great value, and whether it's free agency, whether it's the draft, and I am really excited to see Booker hit the field this season.